Have you ever felt like life is testing you? Like every time you try to move forward, something else gets in your way. Maybe lately, everything feels out of control, nothing is going as planned, or you're even on the verge of giving up. But what if none of this is a mistake? What if these challenges are actually signs that you're about to enter a new phase of your life? One where everything finally makes sense and the pieces start falling into place. There's an ancient spiritual concept that suggests that before any great transformation, life puts us through intense and sometimes heartbreaking trials. These challenges, though difficult, serve to prepare our minds, hearts, and spirits for what's coming. Jacobo Grinberg, whom we've discussed before on this channel, believed that these periods of darkness and difficulty are actually gateways to a more authentic and powerful version of ourselves. Today, we'll explore 5 spiritual trials and how to identify them in your own life. Because if you're experiencing one of them right now, you might be close to the breakthrough that will change everything for you. Before we continue, I invite you to subscribe right now. By doing so, you become part of a community that seeks to awaken and understand the true potential of the mind. Plus, you won't miss content that could be crucial on your path to transformation. So, without further ado, grab a seat, make yourself a cup of tea, and welcome to Fuente Oculta. Spiritual trials. Are you really ready for the life you're asking for? Spiritual trials are like life's exams, those moments when the universe seems to ask, are you truly ready for what you've been asking for? We all desire growth, clarity, and peace, but few are prepared to endure the process required to attain them. Jacobo Grinberg spoke of these trials as moments of forced awakening, pushing us to leave behind what limits us so that we can make room for the new. Imagine walking through a dense forest where every tree blocks the light and you can only see a few steps ahead. Each challenge you overcome in this forest grants you a little more clarity. And while it may feel terrifying, it's necessary to discover the right path. In the end, these trials teach us to let go of what no longer serves us, to face our shadows, and to rediscover who we truly are. The first trial, learning to accept and let go of control. This is one of the most subtle yet most challenging trials of all, learning to accept and release control. This process goes beyond mere resignation. It requires a true inner transformation. From a young age, we are taught that if we work hard and follow certain rules, we'll achieve what we desire. Naturally, we hold on to our expectations tightly. However, sometimes, no matter how hard we try, the path remains blocked, almost as if something greater were telling us, this is not the way. In these moments, frustration takes over. We feel like life is taking away our control, and our first instinct is to believe that something within us is failing. But what if life is actually guiding us toward a destination we just can't see yet? The test of acceptance invites us to stop fighting against the current and surrender to what is. This doesn't mean giving up on dreams or goals. It means cultivating deep trust. Accepting is not about passively letting things happen. It's about recognizing that sometimes the detours life presents us with are precisely what we need. Jacobo Grinberg called this the act of dissolving the ego, a phrase that may sound abstract but carries a powerful truth. Letting go of control is one of the purest ways to connect with our true selves. By doing so, we allow something greater than our ego, something wiser, to take the lead. The ego clings to security, to the known. It wants all the answers, a meticulously planned path, and no surprises. But what if you allowed life to surprise you? What if you made space for the unexpected? Acceptance creates space for what we truly need, not just what we think we want. Often, what we perceive as obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise, doors leading to something far greater than what we had imagined. Ask yourself, how much of your life are you trying to control? How much energy are you spending to make sure everything goes exactly as planned? And what if you trusted that the universe is a path prepared for you, one you hadn't even considered? This trial doesn't ask you to stop dreaming or striving. It asks you to trust, to open yourself up to the possibility that, in the end, life knows exactly what it's doing. The second trial, letting go of what no longer serves you. This is one of the hardest trials because it often feels like loss. Nothing is more difficult than facing the past and realizing that certain people, places, or even parts of ourselves no longer fit into the life we want to build. This test arises when we recognize that we're clinging to things that rather than propelling us forward, are keeping us anchored in a place that no longer feels like home. Jacobo Grinberg described this detachment as a kind of spiritual purification. Letting go of what no longer fits is an act of liberation, an opportunity to make space for what truly aligns with our essence. Facing this trial might mean walking away from friendships that no longer share our values, leaving behind a safe but unfulfilling job, or even questioning long-held beliefs. And while it may feel like loss in reality, it's a rebirth. Perhaps this test will make you ask yourself whether the people around you are out of habit, or if the choices you make truly reflect what you want. Letting go of the past often means facing the fear of loneliness, of leaving behind the familiar and stepping into the unknown. But it is in this very process of detachment that we create the space for our true transformation. So, ask yourself, are you willing to let go of what no longer resonates with you in order to welcome a new version of yourself? We can find within ourselves the support, guidance, and peace we have always sought outside. So I ask you, have you dared to listen to what you truly desire in those moments of solitude? Have you had the courage to accept the truth that emerges when distractions fade away, and all that remains is your raw, authentic essence? The fourth spiritual test is a fascinating mystery and at the same time, an almost magical gift: synchronicity. This test appears suddenly, like a flash, bringing with it a clear yet subtle message. When you experience synchronicity, you feel as if the universe has become an ally, whispering in your ear like a silent friend, placing signs along your path, telling you, you are exactly where you need to be. It is that moment when everything seems to have a purpose, when the pieces fit together with a precision that defies any logical explanation. Synchronicity occurs when events, people, words, and even the most trivial coincidences align in a way that seems impossible. It is as if chance ceases to exist, transforming into doors, clues left by something much greater. Jacobo Grinberg described it as a dialogue with the universe, a silent conversation that you can only hear when your mind and spirit are in sync. In these moments, it feels as if your thoughts and desires are in perfect harmony with the energy of the universe, and life begins to respond to you. Have you ever thought of someone, only for them to call you moments later? Or found the exact words you needed in a book that, by chance, landed in your hands? These experiences are not mere coincidences. They are the universe's way of telling you that you are on the right path, urging you to keep going. They are small signals, confirmations that your actions, thoughts, and desires are aligned with the purpose you came here to fulfill. Grinberg believed that synchronicity is confirmation that you have begun to see beyond the visible, that you are touching reality in its purest form. It is when time and space seem to mold themselves around you as if every event and every person in your life had a specific purpose. In those moments, it is common to experience a sense of calm, a certainty that, even if you do not fully understand the direction, you are moving towards something important. It feels as if the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is conspiring to take you exactly where you need to be. But this test is not just a game of signs and coincidences. Synchronicity requires openness and sensitivity. It is easy to miss these signs if you are not present, if you do not pay attention to the small details surrounding you. In many ways, synchronicity is an invitation to listen beyond words, to see beyond the obvious, to trust that the universe is working in your favor. Grinberg taught that when you feel that something clicks and everything seems to align as if by magic, that is the moment when the universe is telling you, you are not alone. Trust this path. Have you ever experienced that sense of wonder, of connection, of absolute certainty that everything was meant to be? Synchronicity is not just a sign that you're on the right path. It is a reminder that you're a part of a greater whole, a universal web in which every step has its purpose. It is confirmation that your path is being guided, and that every move, every decision, and every person in your life has a role in your evolution. So the question is, are you open to hearing what the universe has to say? Could you allow these signs to guide you, trusting that each synchronicity is a piece of the puzzle bringing you closer to your purpose? The last spiritual test is the deepest and most transformative of all, and at the same time, the one we fear facing the most. But before revealing this final test, if you have made it this far, I invite you to leave your mark. Comment the word purpose along with a goal or an experience that has led you to reflect on your own path. This act of sharing not only reaffirms your commitment, but could also be the spark of inspiration that someone else needs in their own journey. Because if you are reading this, It means you have come a long way, that you are ready to face what life truly has to offer. Finding and committing to your purpose is the ultimate test. The one that arrives when you start looking beyond the surface of everyday life, when you ask yourself if existence is really just about working, meeting expectations, and achieving imposed goals. At that moment, an emptiness arises, a feeling that, despite all your achievements, something essential is missing, something that no material reward or external success can fulfill. This emptiness is a calling, a sign that your soul is speaking to you. Jacobo Grinberg believed that we are all born with a unique mission, a purpose that is as much a part of us as our breath. But discovering it requires more than just good intentions. It demands brutal honesty with oneself and enormous courage to face the fear of failure, of being judged, and above all, of disappointing the expectations that others have placed upon us. Purpose does not dwell in comfort. It lives in risk, in the challenge of questioning every decision, in the bravery to pursue what truly resonates with your essence. This test forces you to look within yourself and ask, what am I passionate about? What is it that, when I do it, makes me feel like I am part of something greater? Grinberg said that this test is a gateway to true freedom because when you find your purpose and commit to it, you discover a peace and fulfillment that go far beyond any superficial success. So I ask you, are you ready to listen to that calling? To ask yourself what truly moves you and makes you feel alive? Thank you for being part of this community, a space where people like you dare to explore beyond the obvious, to grow, and to discover the best version of themselves. Remember, these 5 spiritual tests, though challenging, are an invitation to a more authentic and meaningful life. They serve as reminders that the path to the best chapter of your life is not easy, but it is profoundly transformative.